Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Romo with my, what is this, August monthly trading recap. Uh, let's see, it was a lot of trades. Slow month still, there were a few frustrating trades this month. Um, but before I get into all of that, if you got any questions, I don't think I've said this in previous videos, but just make sure to comment and just ask away what you would like me to go over, or what you would like me to explain better, or whatever kind of questions you have. I'll be glad to answer them. And also, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff. Just see some more people look at it and get help, so they understand what goes on, so they're not just trading blindly, and this anybody could do. That's why I'm so um persistent into trading small, so you guys can see, like you can see here how much I'm going in each trade, like, and this is what I do this, and you see how much I'm making small amounts, uh, and average gain, biggest loss, and all that stuff, just so you get a perspective that you could also do this, and yes, it takes longer. It's taking longer than I would like for myself, but that's not the point. The point is having the process, doing it the right way, and then scaling up. And until I am consistent, and I feel I'm getting better and better, I'll scale up, and I won't scale up in a slow market, which is now. I think I tried to do that. I think it was back in May. Let's see, no, same kind of here in June. Yeah, I mean, I was going a little bigger, like going in for 1,000, but it was, I guess, a better um stock, because this one I trade it quite frequently. But let's see, this one, going in big, you know, yeah, HCCGQ, I was going big because I liked it. And what is this? What is that? Again, yes. Well, I guess so, that one, and then I think this month is when I try to go big in all of them. Yeah. See, look, I try to go big on, what is this? Big on LKNCY. Okay, I traded that one more, so that's understandable. That one bigger than that one. This one, NEGG. That was on vacation trading that. Shouldn't have gone that big. Not my trade. Okay, LKNCY again. This one, okay, I shouldn't have gone that big on this one. Uh, that one definitely shouldn't have gone that big on that one. So yeah, look, I tried to scale up here on the slower month, and it didn't work. So this month, I went back scaling down, except for, what was this? Okay, and CYC. Okay, again, you know it's the risk is small even if I'm playing bigger, so that's okay. But out of all the other ones, it's small. um but yeah, just want to put some perspective, and whoever's watching this, you don't need that much to start off with, because you want to get the process done right, and if you lose $100, $30, whatever, and total $300 in a month, it's okay. Or end up making $200 a month, it's okay. You just gotta keep consistently making like $200 a month. That's fine when you're first starting out. In August, I pretty much broke even, but I was on the right track on some trades. So this one, should have won this one, and I'll go over them. But and then what else? That one and this one. So it should have been one, two, three out of these four red ones. I should have won significantly well. Um, and this one I won well. I should have won bigger because of the price action. I got slightly greedy, and you'll see as it's coming up. So overall, I mean, I broke even, but this should have been a way better month than it shows your numbers. So you also got to look into that, not just the numbers. Look into the trades, look into what you did and how you felt and how you executed the trade. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it that I try to show here, so you can understand that it's just not buying and selling. It's a lot going on that hopefully by you watching this makes it somewhat easier for you to understand. And again, if you have any questions, go ahead, don't hesitate to comment, share, whatever you like. I'll try to get us back get back to as many people as I can, you know. Uh, but yeah, let's get right into it, and we'll start off. See here, ENNF, triple ENF. We'll just say that was my first trade of the month, and I guess this first trade of the month, you know, laid out how the rest of the month was gonna be. You'll see why. Hopefully, as I'm explaining this. Well, let's take this off and let's fix this because you can't really see much here. So what I'm interested is from here, and I traded it on August 3rd. So where's it? August 3rd, right there. So as you can see here, the breakout here, price action there, intraday, and let me bring in my trade. Where is it? Where did I put those? Is it here? Yes, right here. Alright, so here, let's make it smaller. Alright, so was on the right track, but got shaken out on the late day mini panic that I should have held through and respected my initial 34 risk and held it overnight. However, I was not comfortable holding overnight because of the past history of bad gap done, but it did just the opposite. So, you know, this, it all looks good here. You know, I should have held, you know, had this not happened, I don't think I would have, like, um, held overnight either way. Let's see what price I get in. Why is the image not in here? Ugh, I gotta. All right, so here's the image. This should have been here on the verified trade. I'll update that after I'm done with this. But yeah, so here, let's bring this over here. You know, I got in at 35 and a half, pretty much. You know, I was looking for this to, you know, run and hold up here. Uh, I would have sold probably like around here if it was getting there. Even though I probably should have held. Even if this didn't happen. But when this happened, you know, it solidified in my mind like, oh yeah, see, I shouldn't hold overnight and just get out. And the reason I didn't feel comfortable holding overnight was because of this previous um gap down, like that. You see, it was on a breakout and huge gap down. It, like I can't even explain that. You know, it's just dump, like crazy dump. Because it closed here at 8:48 and it opened. What is this? At 1.5. So like 7 cent gap down. That's scary. So I didn't want that here, just because I guess this breakout here, you know, it gapped up a little bit. Um, this breakout here gapped up again a little bit. You know, oh, that's the one I'm looking at. That's the one I traded that I didn't hold. Um, but yeah, I guess maybe this one I should have seen. Okay, gapped up, but I didn't feel comfortable with it. And as you can see, I entered at 12:58, which here on my chart is in Central Time. This is Eastern Time on E-Trade, so it's at 11:58 on my chart. 11:58 right here at 3:54 and a half. Okay, so I also that I chased a little bit here too. You know, um, let's see. Let's just look at the chart here. So this day is right here. Um, so yeah, I got in right here at the higher day breakout, and this was my initial risk. You know, I should have let it come down more down here. But then as I got in here, you know, since I chased, you know, I wanted a closer breakout, and the only next closer breakout was this area that kind of held after I bought, you know. But in reality, you know, if I miss this run up, because look, I shouldn't be buying this just straight up, and of course it's gonna dip and consolidate. So I should have gotten in on this, and then once this came, you know, it just spooked me out, and you know, I saw like right here in this area, and you know, it was still above my risk. You know, maybe I should have held, but then again, the panic combined with my fear of the big gap that I sold, and then the next day it freaking opened all the way up at what is this at 4-1. So it would have been way above my entry and decent 10%. Over 10%, and I would have sold. Um, but yeah, does that trade, and as you can see, on the right track, just didn't hold overnight, you know, but and I got out with the loss of what is that? 22 bucks. Um, so yeah. And then let's move on to the next trade, which is BTBT. Beginning here. So on the fourth, BTBT. Just fix this. Fourth and fourth. So this one, the complete right track, I could have sold the last 30 shares a bit better instead of panic selling at the bottom, but I did sell over half into strength. Nice. I put the image on this one. Good. So let's look at the multi-day chart first. So on the what is this? On the fourth, right there. So I'm looking at this breakout here. And 12:45. Where's that? Okay, it's over there. 12:45. Is that one? Yeah. So 12:45 is this all the way over here. It's the last breakout. It had decent volume, but now I'm just interested in this area. Where's it at? There. So I bought 70 at 8:40 Central Time. Here, right here, and as it's getting close to that 11:25 breakout there, it's a lot of volume, and I got it on a dip a little bit here, 11 right there, that red candle, and then I was using this 1031 low of day as my risk, and also I had this green to red as risk as well, to well, not risk, or as support on top of my risk. So let's see, and then pretty much just held and adjusted my risk as the chart went out. So a perfect price action here. I sold 20, I think. Let me see, we'll do some calculations over here. What was my 10%? Yeah, so at 12:10, I'm already at 10%. So I sold 20 right at that. At what is this, 9:07 here. So only 27 minutes later, I'm rewarded. So I gotta sell some. Um, then I just continued selling into strength. Another 5 at 12:75 at 9:26. 9:26. And then where's it at? Here at what, 12:75? Yeah, here. Oh, so yeah, I saw this. I was like, okay, it's strong. I didn't sell any into this. Um, this break of the high. It's like, okay, it's probably gonna break a little bit because it's the uh big breakout area here, but it goes all the way back a few months, so it might not be that much of resistance. So I want to see how it acts, and then see how the dip works, and then if it goes again, then sell some there. So that's what I did at 12:75, and then same thing at 12:95 here. Like, it put a high, it dipped, and then I sold another 5 onto that high day, and then at 13:17, so it's pretty good sales up here. 13:17, sold some, and then at 13:39, that's impressive. That's good. 13:39, like right here, right at the top. So that's a good sell right there. And then I held the rest, and let me see, I sold at 12:41, 12:41 right here. So this risk, of course, was not gonna be my risk anymore. I was gonna find a risk that a dip here to use, because I don't want to lose all my gains. So this risk is no more. And so I started with this, and I saw it, but I'm like, okay, it's first hard dip off of the big run, so that's expected. So I just try to use that, but wasn't a hard risk. Like, okay, I'm let it panic 'cause I expected some like fade during midday. I'm like, okay, I'm like bounce and then faded again, and then when this came up, I was like, okay, this should be the new low. And I was like, okay, he's gonna come back and probably grind here and then go higher, ideally, and sell the rest of my shares up here somewhere. You know, uh, but it turned out that it faded here and it broke this risk just slightly, and I sold them all here at 1165. Right there, which it was panic sell, which that's the part I'm saying I should have done better. Maybe just wait it out, uh, and sell some into this, up into this area, and then maybe hold the last five or so into this to the near the close. But yeah, so that was a decent $84, So, and I used $770 and made $84. So just keep things in perspective again. Next trade is LKNCY. Let's bring that in here. LKNCY on the 5th. 5th. Let's keep like that. Alright, so fill breakout on the big gap up. At least instead of chasing the spike, I did get in a nip around 15 level that I thought was going to be support. Alright, so on the 5th. Alright, so this day, I saw this happen and I wasn't really too interested in like, holding or chasing this because I'm like, okay, it's coming up too much, I don't want to do that. But then after these 2 days, I'm like, okay, this consolidation, it bounced a little bit and this day looks strong and it gapped up. I'm like, okay, so it's gonna, hold up here and continue it or continue. Um, but it didn't, and I got in at 840 right here at 1529, a little higher than I would have liked. Yeah, right there. Because I was thinking this is gonna hold, bounce here. I mean, it was gonna hold, bounce, and grind up here, but it did completely the opposite. And I saw that 910, right here. You know, I I think I was risking a green or red. Red to green, I mean, or wait, yeah, red to green. But I sold here, I was looking at the price action, big volume, didn't do much, and it's just slowly fading. So I'm like, I don't want to, wait until the inevitable happens that it was going to break this. So that's pretty much it for that one, not much more to it. Um, and then the following trade is ASTR. This one is the one I got slightly greedy on. Let's bring it ASTR. I bought this one on the 9th and held overnight to the 10th. So here, let's go over it. I should have sold this in the after hours as the news came out, but I got a little greedy, honestly, since I had gone in with the mindset of holding overnight. But when that type of price action comes in, I have two login profits. That's referring to the after hours that I'll show you. Instead, I sold next day when it failed to hold a breakout. So as you can see here, and that is not the right thing here. Wow. Yeah, that's not the right thing. That's weird. Let me just bring it up. Where is it? ASTR? Here we go. ASTR. Alright, so butter over here. Here at 1125 at 1001, which is 901. 901, 901, 901. Right here. Alright, so, Oh, and then let's bring this up. What is this? The ninth, to the 10th. Oh yeah. So this is what I'm looking at. That break of 1172. So where is it at? 1125. 1172 is here, so I don't want to chase this. So I'm like, okay, this is getting ready for the breakout. So let me get in on a dip. So at 901 at 1125, I got in here right around there, and I was using was that 1080 lower day? Yeah, 1080 as my risk, which is pretty much green or red as well. So uh, uh and then and then after hours we got this. I should have sold here because you know but in my mind, I'm like, okay, the news are coming in, it's breaking out, it's gonna hold next day and it's gonna run more, but I gotta take that, you know, if at least like it's 1172, I think that was my goal. No, 1237, that would have been my goal. So like sell some here, or at 1250, sell them all, for a decent gain, but instead. you know, um, it did hold decently here. It faded obviously, but I was concerned. I was just looking at this level. I'm like, okay, if it holds this, if it opens above that, it should hold and keep going. So I did have some decent sells here at the open. So at 8:33 here Central Time. Where is it? 8:33 here. Okay, so at 12:40 here, I sold 20. Right there, right at the top. Good. And then I held the rest. 9:48, which is 8:48. Here at 12:25. So I sold it on a dip. I didn't like this Fed. I'm like, okay, this might not hold. So trying to sell. I sold another 10, and then at 9:13. Here again, it's not holding, so I'm selling into dips. 913 here. Um, and then 913, and then the rest I market sold because it was panicking. So 1020. Here, I'm like, oh damn, like okay, this is not holding. This might just panic. I didn't want it to, just go red, and I market sold them just to get out. Maybe I panicked a little too much using the market sell, but I got in at 1148 here. And for a 46.5 dollar gain, which could have been double if I sold them all up here, or even like all here, at 1240, where I sold my first. So yeah, got a little greedy on that one, and let's see, that's it for that trade. Following one is CYBL on the 12th. Let's bring that up. CYBL on the 12th. No. One more. 12. CYBL. Okay. Where's the trade? Here we go. Alright, so plain and simple. Chase breakout instead of buying the dip around green or red at the open. And yeah, here we go. So this one we gotta look at the day before as well so it all makes sense. So they bought is let me see 1 second. So yeah, this we gotta look at the day before. So this action right here is this green candle right there, and the 12 level up there, or 1185 level. I'm like, I didn't want to chase that, but then in the morning, let's see, I got it at 9:47. Ooh, chased it right here at 1885. 1855. So I guess I I try to get in on a dip here at least. I didn't chase it all the way up here. Um, and how do you call it? Oh no, I think I tried to get in here, and then it missed, and then I didn't get executed on the spike, and then I just left my order open and then executed down here. I think that's what happened. Either way, it didn't work out. And when I said um, instead of buying a dip around green to red at the open, should have bought this dip right here, as it was around like this support, and then it'll bounce, for better odds. And then I mean, I just sold at 12:36, 11:36, um, right here. Just panicking, breaking this. I didn't want it to go down here. I just kind of didn't know, but I kind of felt what was gonna come. That it was gonna just break and go red. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that trade. Not too much more. And $43 loss. You know, and then let's see. Next trade is BPER, which is not my type of trade, and I traded it. Let's see, 13. Yes, so let's bring the trade in. Right, so yeah, like I said here, this is not my type of trade. Even though it was a first green day with news, I need to get it in on a dip if I do trade this instead of perks that look like breakout attempts, because that is where people from the same day are probably selling, especially when 12 is long-term resistance. Bad trade right here. Yeah, so what did I get in? Let's see, right here. Let's fix this real quick. Yeah, so, I mean, just look at this. 13 right here. So it was this day here. 13, okay, the news are here. Big spike, big volume, so first green day with news, so theoretically it should keep running. So I guess what I did do with this, I waited later in the day instead of like, just buying around here early. But still not a good trade. I bought 12, I bought 66,000 and a half at 12:58:52, which is 11:52 here. Yeah. So yeah, I right as this was perking, I bought some. You saw that big old candle. That was not all of me, obviously. That was way too much volume for me. But I was part of that, and I was using probably this risk. Let me see if I did. 0.012, 66 and a half. 1140 roughly would be my risk. Uh, yeah, so here, yeah, so my risk is way too close. That's another thing, I I'm gonna get shaken out. The range is too close for my risk. You know, I need to be getting in at on dips, maybe like on this big dip, using this as risk, and looking for bounce, getting out like in here or maybe into this. Um, but yeah, I mean, and then that was the last trade of the week, and then the following week I didn't do any trades at all. And then the following week after that was my first trade, and it was a really good one, and it had similar price action as this on the intraday, but on the daily it was different, and you'll see that right now when I explain it, because for this on the following trade, which was ILUS, it had pretty similar intraday action, and I got in on the perk instead of on the dip, but that one I was rewarded, you know, because it had good intraday action, and then on the multi-day it had a breakout as well, and then this one it was just first green day, and then it has all this resistance here, you know, like all of that, and the trade I'm about to show you next also had resistance going back then, but it was followed by a breakout. So let's say like this set up as a high, and I just watch it, don't trade it, and then a few days later it dips, and then it comes back to this area, and with volume, with news, and then it tries to break out this, then that is a better buy than simply just first green day with news right at resistance. Um, so let's go ahead and take a look at that trade. It was ILUS on the 24th. Let's change this. Well, it was from the 23rd to the 24th. I held overnight. So let's bring it in here. Yes. And I said here too. This intraday price action is similar to VPER trade, but the difference is that it's not only first green day, but also above recent breakout of 87. I should have gotten in closer to that breakout though, instead of chasing a bit at 9, hell of that, and so next day. Yeah, so this one, like I said, I should have gotten in closer to the actual breakout of 87, which is the 24th. Oh, snap. Yeah, and this broke out again. 23rd and 24th. Yeah, so 23rd right here. And this is what I'm talking about. This long-term resistance similar to what VPER had. But this, look, it has multi-day run-up, and then it stopped there, consolidated, then it got to another breakout. The other one, it was just the first green day, and nothing. So let's say, like, for example, it would have been like this day, and if there's resistance here, which it was, but I don't really consider that because it just kept running. Um, it's different, same kind of daily action. I mean, intraday action, different daily, So there's all these things that go into it that you got to consider and act upon, and that's why it gets so tough. There's so many things going on, but at the same time, some things are very similar. But yeah, so this one I bought 8800 at 9 at 136, which is 1236 here. 1236 here. So at 9 right here, as as is consolidating and perking up a little bit, and big volume comes in, and then so for this one, the bad thing I guess I did was just get in on the perk and the spike instead of get in on a dip. But I did do well knowing that it was a multi-day breakout. I saw it hold above the breakout level. It was so I let it prove itself. It was later in the day into power hour, and I respected my risk, and then I held overnight and was rewarded. So this I could have sold some here, but I just like the action, like big volume too. That's another thing, big volume, 76 million. And then the next day I sold right at the open. Well, I held for quite a bit, 30 minutes at 10:01. 10:01. Oh, that was a good sell right here, really? At 10. Let me see, 1 second. Yeah, so that was a really good sell at 10, pretty much at high day at right here, 10:01. Uh, right here. So I'm pretty sure I recognize that it was getting weak, and I just got out. Was it a market sell? Uh, no. And I put it at 10. I get executed a little bit higher, so good. So yeah, I mean, very very good things about this trade. The only bad thing is, I should be getting a little bit more on dips closer to the support. But yeah, good trade. And then let me see next trade. Um, so I guess, yeah, like the first trade I went over was triple ENF. On the right track, gapped up a bit, not a bit, a huge gap up, and I saw the day before would have been rewarded very greatly. ASTR, I should have sold into the after hours spike for better sell. And then these next two trades, the probably the two most frustrating trades because I was dead on, and I would have been rewarded very well. Um, so I mean, like what I was trying to say is, I started with triple ENF, uh, on the right track, and didn't make it into a win, and I'm gonna close out the month the same way with these few following trades. The first one is RGBP. Let's bring that in here. RGBP, RGBP, whoa, RGBP on the 25 here. 25. Whoa, 25. Yeah, so let's see. Uh, Frustrating trade on the complete right track, but came out with the loss, missed the breakout, but I got in on a dip. However, I panic sold late in the day into my risk, which of course was the dead bottom. Then it proceeded to bounce and make a new high day towards the close. Then it ran 2 more days all the way to 8. Grr. So yeah, let's see here. I bought 16,000 at 5 at 1206, which is 1106 here. Here, yeah. So here I'm looking at this breakout here, and I missed that for whatever reason, but I was looking at this here. I'm like, okay, I'll get it here on a dip, which is pretty much the same if you get it in executed on the breakout there or on the dip here, and I use that as my risk. And it was looking good all day, you know. And then here I'm like, okay, like this is kind of not looking too good. But I gave it time, I'm like, it's what time was that? It's 1:15 pretty much. So we still got like an hour and 45 left on the trading day. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is just another dip. People are gonna see that since it's right at the breakout, and it'll keep going. Uh, but as you can see, it did not do any of that, and it panicked. And I sold at 1224. 1224 right there at the bottom, right there, 4765. A little bit above my breakout. I mean my risk. And then the frustrating part is it came back all the way and made a new high, and that's not the only frustrating part. Next day, look what it did. Um, it just held all day, kept going. So I sold here, and that's where it went next day, and then the next day goes all the way up to 8. Um, of course, I don't think I know I wouldn't have held all over here. Let's just do 5 minutes so you can see. So I sold here, and it went all the way up here. So almost pretty much double from where I sold. So yeah, that's very frustrating. And came out with the loss instead of with a very solid gain. Um, but yeah, and then the last trade, this one similar thing, but thankfully it was break. Well, not thankfully, thankfully I would have gotten in for a gain like I should have. But I got up for break even on the 26th there, and then let's bring it in here. Whoa. Alright, so another frustrating trade. At least this one was break even, but again on the right track. I even was patient enough to wait until later in the day to get it in a dip, but sold near the close for break even. It then proceeded to run after hours and go $3 a share higher the next day. Sigh. So what time? At 12:36. 12:36. Dang, so that's 8:20. So right at the breakout level, 12:36 here. I was patient right up VWAP. I let it come down and dip, and I was probably using let me see, at 8:20. How many did I buy? 8:20, but 100. 8:20, but 100. 770, my risk. Oh no, so this one, yeah, 770. Yeah, so this one I was going in with like, okay, I'll get in around this dip, and if it breaks this, it'll be a small loss, at 793, um, 25 $30 loss, and I wanted to get in as close as I could to that, and which I did, and right around this break, I was patient with that, but then here, you know, I thought this was gonna, when I saw this, I'm like, all right, we're good. So it'll close up here and then, go higher. But it didn't. It just started slowly fading. But it was holding here, never really like hard fades. But I just wasn't patient in a hold, and then after hours it goes and holds, and here it didn't really break my wrist that I had, so my wrist was really good. I just should have held, and then after hours does that, and then the next day it does this, So even the next day, like it still didn't break this risk, you know, and it just went higher. I don't know. I probably would have sold like into this. Not gonna lie, like right at this, I wouldn't have held all the way to 11, but probably would have sold like here or sell some and then keep going, Uh, but yeah, that's the last trade of the month, and hopefully this helps you out again, So just to recap, if you got any questions, just comment, like, and share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll keep putting out more content, try to help you guys out, keeping things in perspective. That I know you can do it, everyone can do this, but you just gotta be meticulous, persistent, and hardworking. So with that, I'll leave you guys. Peace.